Hi, and welcome back to Nadya's Identity Files. I have with me Mr. Brad Etter.
Yes, I'm Brad Etter. Sorry, I was going to say my name.
Whoa.
I didn't know who was going to say it.
You know what? That's okay. Maybe we should just say it, in sync.
Let's do it.
Welcome, Brad Etter. Okay, you did it way cooler than I did. I did not harmonize. Obviously, the synergy is just not here. You know what? I'm going to go.
We'll establish it. I think we have 10 minutes to get some synergy
We
going.
do have 10 minutes
Hopefully
to establish some synergy. Well, thank you so much for being here to talk about identity and its nuances and complexities. I feel like you have so much to say on this issue. A lot of your work examines this issue. You're an actor and a producer and a writer and an editor. You wear a lot of hats, kind of like I do, but I think even more actually on your end of the table here. Well, I guess we're not really on the ends of tables,
which I like. It works with this gender fluidity sort of vibe.
Right?
There's no end of the table.
There is no end of the table. It's like we're in this alternate, fabulous identity bending dimension. I don't know, guys. Just humor me. It's election day, and I've been up really early. I woke up at the crack of dawn. So, I mean, in terms of wearing all of these hats and all of these identities, is that something that you think about a lot, or does it just kind of happen naturally for you?
I do gravitate to wide-brimmed floppy hats. Those are a lot of fun. I like witchy vibes, but that's literally, figuratively, within, I really... I've always felt multidimensional. I just have felt kind of like, I describe it as just being like a unicorn.
Uh-oh.
Which etymologically, I think of things in terms of etymology, and I love the word unicorn and unique because it really means one. If you think of it, uni.
I love it. It's true.
And I think that just like when you shine light through like a crystal, it refracts into like just unconscionable amounts of color. And that's what I think that the human experience is. So when I was born and I came into the world, I didn't have, and I think this is the case for most people, for everyone really, you don't have like a real sense of limitation, which is kind of stamped out of you early. So I was always fastened to this sense of being all things because it was just like natural. You know, you don't question the nature of your multidimensionality. It just is how it is. I think conditioning comes into play because in this society, you're learned I learned when I moved to LA, for example, 6 years ago, you can't be all these things. You need to market yourself as just an editor, a director, an actor, because that will lead you to success.
Right.
And I kind of see it. I really see so many people disproving that format. I
agree. So
many people and inspiring others to be multidimensional. The people that I work with out here are all, I call them unicorns. We're just co-creating unicorns.
Right. And, I also deal with that. Sometimes people will be like, well, how are you working in digital marketing and also have your own show and do writing? I mean, what do you do? What's your main thing? What's your favorite thing? I'm like, why do I have to pick one?
Right.
I think that says a lot about our society with other issues with identity. So, basically, you define, if you had to define identity, which of course, definitions by virtue of being definitions are somewhat limiting.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like we kind of need some limitations just for our own minds to at least have some ability to compartmentalize our thoughts, even as complex as they might be. So if you had to define identity, what would you define it as?
I love this question because I think this hits on, all of these questions really harken back to this all things and why we're even alive, which excites me. I think that identity it's ultimately a dichotomy because when you individuate, as really like Rumi says, you're a drop contains the ocean,
Okay.
Yeah.
5 stars just for citing Rumi.
Just for pulling that up.
Yeah.
I have Kesha quotes later. I hope you like that too. I'm all about profound and profane.
Why not?
I like juxtaposing.
Yes. Yes.
But I really feel like that identity is like individuated wholeness and unity. So and that's the thing. That's what's exciting about it, because you are all things, but you also are choosing in a way to be a certain color of something, to have an experience of that color. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like for this experience, I want to know what lavender is, so I'm going to come in with a lavender lens. It's almost like looking through sunglasses.
A palette of paint.
Right.
And then you can mix all of those colors together.
Right.
And it's still, all connected.
It's all connected because this is what's exciting to me. Us being together right now, we have an unprecedented color just by being together. This color isn't reproduced anywhere in the world. It's our unique energies combining in this one moment, and it's never been in the spectrum, which I think life is all about creating ever unprecedented realities and connections, which is like, oh, you can tell I'm like giddy about it.
I find it very exciting, and if you had an opportunity to watch my first episode, yay, of this show, I used the butterfly as a metaphor for identity. I'm very, very obsessed with identity, with butterflies and moths, because it's very interesting, because obviously the moth and the butterfly they start as a caterpillar.
Yeah.
Both are caterpillars, right?
Yes.
And then they metamorphose. They undergo a major transformation, but yet that DNA is the same.
Exactly.
So we always hold on, in my opinion, we always can hold on to our authentic selves. We all have a core soul, but we have the ability to metamorphose and evolve and change as many times as we want to.
Exactly.
So.
That's amazing. Like, that is identity. I always gravitate to the butterfly metaphor because it's about emergence from, you could say, sort of like a simplistic idea of something. It's like this meek idea that you have to become something fabulous.
Right.
And you can only undergo that through
darkness, right?
And closure.
That's true.
The feeling
and
of pressure,
it's
which we do.
cocooned to go through that change.
Exactly.
So, a lot of your work examines identity and, kind of the core self and the grappling of, like, external forces with that core self. Your short film, Me Plus You, really went into that. What were you thinking? What was the key inspiration for that film? And if you could just very briefly kind of tell our audience what that film's about.
Totally. Well, Me and You is about my experience. It's really about humanity's, conceptually, archetypally, it's about the conditioning process that I think every soul faces when they come into form and when they decide to take on a storyline. And so it's really a narrative from the point of view of the inner child who is actually abandoned in the moment of self-judgment. So that's me. When I was 6 years old, I was playing the Aladdin game with my friends, which is where it was popular in our neighborhood. I don't know if this is like a nationwide worldwide thing. But
I played
have you played the Aladdin game?
It might have been a different version of the
Role-playing.
Aladdin game. Yeah, but all kinds of Disney things are being played. Yeah.
Great. Well, I wanted to play Jasmine, and I always gravitated to like these fictitious like female characters. Like, I called myself Hermione, Jasmine, all these things that just made sense to me. And I remember my friends and my
Hermione, not Helena.
Who's Helena? What? What?
Oh, I thought you were doing a Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay, yes, I love Helena from
Hermia. Yeah,
I'm talking about Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry Potter. That's right. You're a big Harry.
Not saying that you're not.
I'm going way throwback here, but yeah. Carry on.
Anyway, I was laughed at by my brother and friend for that. So that was the moment where I started to judge myself. The film shows the progression of the self-judgment to,
right.
to basically the moment of forgiveness at the end when he's a much older man and becoming a new self, like a new butterfly.
Yeah, and it's a really beautiful film. Everybody, you definitely need to check it out.
Thanks.
You just Google Brad's name and the film. You can find it right away on YouTube. So another video that you made, real quickly, because we're running out of time in the segments here. But you know what?
Speedrun.
We can just move into the next a little bit. You made a video called Moving Beyond Labels, being gay in a label-obsessed world that explores...
Quotations are important.
They are very important. That explores the restrictions of labels. Can you talk about that experience a little bit?
Well, I found that the impetus for that video was I came out when I was 19, and then I found that I thought on the other side of that there was going to be like just a complete disassociation from label. I really felt that. And then instead I was met with another set of labels for just being out of the closet.
Right.
Which is almost like still being in the closet in a way of being, whether or not you're in it or out, whatever that even means, you're still being judged.
There's always restriction.
And not a descriptor. That's what I kind of go through in that video is like, you have descriptors which define things, which is important because that's how you discern.
Right.
Like forms. That's how you like navigate a world of form. But you need that. But it depends on whether you're using it to file someone putting them in a filing system for your convenience to kind of cast judgment upon it, or whether you're doing it to just describe.
Yeah.
It's totally a different thing.
I deal with that as well. I mean, obviously, like as a bisexual, I mean, there's actually stigma naturally felt by, the LGBT community at large and also the straight community. But sometimes I feel like I don't even want to wear this label, but then I'm like, well, maybe I should, because there's a lot of people out there who don't have like a community to go to or like somebody to talk to them about their bi experiences. So, I mean, for that reason, it's almost like a political reason for my embracing the label, but not because I necessarily be like, this is what I am exclusively. Because I feel like we always need that room to breathe and grow and evolve in that way. So thank you so much. But real quick, before we move to our next segment, what projects can we look out from you?
Elevator is my next film. It's not a musical. I just wanted to sing it. Okay. It's about 3 strangers who wake up in an elevator to discover that their lives they just departed were karmically interlaced, but they didn't know while they were alive.
And then
the elevator doors open to reveal the afterlife that they created for themselves while on Earth.
But no more spoilers than that. Just
keep it.
Just follow Brad on social media and go to his website and then watch it when it comes out.
Yes.
We'll be right back, you guys, with Shadali, and then right after that, we will have our roundtable discussion and social media consult if we have time. Stay tuned.